everyone here proud for their commitment to WorkSafe Championship Games. This is what we continue to grow our league with, and it starts today, big day, with our women's game. Congratulations to all the umpires officiating in today's game. What I would like to do now is ask each side of umpires to wish each of their partners by shaking their hands. Thank you. I would now like everyone to be upstanding for the playing of the national anthem. Apparently we've been given the no, we're not going to work. Hopefully we've got up. There we go.
They're singing it.
Hello. Hello and welcome to Queen's Park after that a cappella version of the Australian National Anthem. A lovely touch for this first match in a massive day of interleague football and netball. This one is AFL Bowen, the inaugural AFL Bowen senior female interleague team up against the Northern Footy League in the first match of the day. I'm Josh Conway and I'm joined by a select cast at the moment. I'll introduce Geelong AFLW Recruiting and Operations Manager. I think I nailed that.
That's right, Josh. Yeah, one of the longer titles getting around, but yeah, that's right.
Good morning, Ben. Thank you very much for joining us, mate. And I'll introduce first here, we've got Nick and Sam from the Northern Footy League too joining us for this morning's game. G'day, boys.
How's it going, mate?
G'day.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, it's been a pleasure to have you. Ben, firstly, I'll go to you and look at the AFL Bowen side from a Geelong point of view, I guess, and there are a few girls here on the VFL list and pushing for higher honours today.
Yeah, we've got a couple of girls that are obviously out there playing today and have also played some VFLW footy in recent years. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing the talent on display. We'll no doubt talk about some of those individuals during the broadcast.
Absolutely. Gabby Dalla, one of them who I'm looking forward to seeing run out as the players just get set now for this opening term. Sam and Nick, morning again, boys. What are you expecting from Northern this morning?
Well, it should be a great game. First off, perfect conditions for it. Our side, it's our second ever representative game, and last year we actually drew and then lost by a point in extra time, so we're hoping for a better result than that. But if it's just as close, I think everyone would leave here today pretty satisfied with the game they've witnessed.
Absolutely. So we're underway. One of the biggest days in recent memory is off. female footy, Interleague footy, it's underway. Ball in the middle. Looks like Geelong might get the first meaningful possession. Nice hands from Charlotte Thorne. She'll be around the footy a lot today. Betson got her kick wide to the far wing to no great advantage. Lovely pick up from Coburn. Kick to half forward. It is dewy, so you might see a few players fumbling this morning. Strong tackle in the first stoppage of the morning after 30 seconds, Sam.
Yeah, I think it's a good call. It is very, it's going to be quite wet, a pretty hard pill to take first up, but maybe the side that settles better, certainly conditions will suit later on, but the side that maybe settles better gets the early advantage here, as it's going to be the AFL Barwon. Well, they look to extract from that clearance, but it's been cut off, and now it's Nia Weller looking for a handball option for the Northern Football Netball League. A quick kick came inside, no one really home, and it's going to be AFL Barwon to repel now through the middle of Queen's Park. Ball in dispute, it's a 2-on-1 foot race. Triculi, it looked like overran that one for the Northern side. Ball back in dispute. Tackle late, and it's Barwon kicking forward to centre half forward where a juggling mark was dropped. It allows Northern in, and now a clearing kick goes wide, and that came from Chloe Moorcroft.
Was chopped off though. I think that's Charlotte Thorne, is it not? Ben? Might not have been. Kicked to centre half forward anyway. In the meantime, was just short of the intended target. Players, as I mentioned, struggling to get a clean grasp on the footy this early morning fixture. Lovely burst of speed, and the kick inboard marker was dropped by Bond. Got two hands to it. There's a whistle and a free kick going the way of Northern, and Bond goes immediately straight through the middle. Emma Allen was up high for AFL Barwon, the skipper for them this morning. Kick came from Clancy for Northern to centre half forward. Mark was dropped down there by Cross, picked up neatly by Clancy again, and the kick forward. They're about 20 out from home. Tap forward by Breckle, and she might run out of room. She keeps it in play, does a fantastic job. No, the boundary umpire indeed said it was out of play and it'll be tossed in 10 around from home.
Absolutely. Earlier I called the name Moorcroft. It was actually Murphy Burke, but speaking of Moorcroft, her father, of course, Gary Moorcroft, former Essendon Premiership player as well. She's only a youngster in this side, so she's one to watch in the forward half as the Rucks go at it. O'Brien had front spot for the Northern Football Netball League. Overrunning it there for Barwon was Adcock, and a flying shot towards goal has missed to the near side. So the first score's on the board. It goes the way of the Northern Football Netball League, and after 2.5 minutes, they lead by that solitary point. AFL Barwon yet to score.
Great positioning there by Moorcroft. Just a shame she couldn't get the goal on the board.
Ben, what have you made of these opening stanza as Thorne takes the mark in the back pocket?
Well, as you mentioned before, they very much are the Dukies this morning. The conditions out there are quite slippery, so I think it'll take a little while for the players to adjust to the game.
Jansen showed a clean pair of hands, but the handball missed the target of O'Day in the end, and the umpire quickly comes in and will throw it up. You can even see the dew on the ground, can't you, Ben? It's pretty noticeable. That will dry off as the day goes on, of course, for the BFL and GDFL, and the GFL and Northern for the final game this afternoon. The ball just inside 50 for the Northern Footy League. Thorne was wrapped up very quickly. Hands came wide to Dalla. She was immediately tackled. Strong pressure from Amanda Kennedy from Northern, and again we'll have another stoppage.
Just a bit on the Northern girls at the back of this stoppage. You'll see in the 14, Ali Koika, she was the best of field in last year's representative game. Switch sides now with Bundura, last year's Division 3 premiers for the Northern Footy Netball League. Here's an opportunity. A smothered kick there came out from Bond. It gives Barwon an opportunity. Plenty of numbers around this footy. It's a hard one to pick up. Koika overrun it for Northern. Now a chance for AFL Barwon to push through towards centre wing. Ball still in dispute. It is a really hard one to pick up with the frosty conditions underneath, and eventually the umpire calls for it. Barwon probably making 50 metres there, just tapping that ball along and getting it just defensive side of centre wing for them.
As you can see down the bottom left of your screen, 4 minutes gone, just the one behind separating these two sides. Northern providing some pressure around the ball. Bond, kick was good, found Catherine O'Brien. And half forward goes quickly, good looking kick too. Mark was straight through the hands of Stacey Cross. Ball still in the forward pocket. Strong tackle again by her, and the ball will be tossed in again 5 metres around from home. Very strong start here by Northern, Nick.
Imagine Stacey Cross is one of the few players that's got a bit of VFLW experience with the Northern Footy League. Of course, played with Williamstown last year.
Yeah, absolutely, and so too the ruckman in this situation, O'Brien, last year's Division 2 best and fairest winner. She won it to the front of the pack, but it's Barwon with the numbers, and a long kick goes towards half back. It's a foot race. Koika leads that for Northern. She couldn't take clean possession. Demi Hallett tried to charge through. She couldn't gather it cleanly, and the ball goes out of bounds. So plenty of stoppages early. These quarters today, 4 by 20-minute flat quarters, so no time on, as a quick change made by Northern. Clancy comes off, and on comes Michelle Millhouse.
One down convincingly by Noella. It's a lovely palm down too. Plenty of numbers around this. Strong pressure from Northern early. Have another stoppage.
Noella was probably the one to look out for in last year's game, and she's already making her presence known in this year's game as well. Some great ruck battles from her early.
Northern have got the numbers on this outer side if they can get it on the boot quickly. The kick came from Millhouse inside the forward 50. It was chopped off by Bowen. Look at the pressure from Northern there. Piling on at the moment. Noella again.
The ball there was Sophie O'Day, of course, the sister of Elise O'Day, the Melbourne AFLW captain, so she'll be one to watch today.
One down by O'Day again. Ball at ground level. Northern have been very good in the contested situations. Coburn kicked inside 50 and it is marked. I think that is Cross. O'Brien, excuse me, who's taken the mark just inside 50. Be just beyond her, so she just holds it up and it's a lovely kick. Mark was dropped. It was a beautifully weighted kick. Cross goes again. The kick will sail out on the full.
You just wonder, we said earlier about how hard the conditions are to start the day off. Obviously a slippery footy. Northern's had all the territory but haven't quite put it on the board. It's just leaving AFL Barwon well and truly in the game. And can they take their opportunity when they present now going the other way? As a short kick comes out of defence, just going the allotted 15. Jansen's providing a target long. The kick's going to go shorter still. Just got to its target. McClelland on the bounce, so she had to quickly get rid of it. Now the ball's back in dispute. Tackle there laid on Kennedy of Northern. Plenty of numbers around this footy once again. It's going to be Bowen potentially to get this one out. The handball went in the direction of Jansen. She couldn't quite get there, and a whistle's being blown. And which way is this free kick going? It might well be a Northern free kick. It is.
It was a high tackle there, so it'll be an opportunity for the Northern to score.
And this might be the first deliberate shot on goal, and it's with Chloe Moorcroft, who's been a goal kicker in her 2 seasons with Bundoora. Obviously, as you say, comes from good pedigree. This one from the pocket, left foot shot on goal, is going right to the line. It won't have the carry off hands, and it might be rushed through. No, the ball's kept in play by Barwon. And now a long kick goes out in the direction of Jansen. She was beaten to the contest by a few players, but at the fall of the ball was low for Barwon. Now a quick kick comes back through the corridor, about 50 out. Triculia couldn't trap it for Northern. And now AFL Barwon a chance to exit their defensive lines.
Yeah, the ball's just on the paint of 50. Socket forward trying to gain some territory, but the Northern pressure is very hot at the moment. Kick inside 50 from Kennedy. It's chopped off. Good grab in the defensive 50. Swings it wide. Safe enough mark for Betson. She's at halfback for AFL Barwon. Kicks centre forward. Good looking kick too to O'Day, who was probably infringed, but no free kick given. Thorne. Quick hands. They inch the ball forward to centre wing. Thumped clear again. Numbers at ground level with Northern over the footy was Koika. Just socket clear, and there's another whistle. And
yeah, slinging tackle that time.
Tackle going the way of AFL Barwon. They take the advantage paid.
No, I think the umpire's calling that one back.
Yep. So the ball will go back to half-back for AFL Barwon.
So this, their, I guess, first real opportunity to get clean ball into the forward 50. As the medic just came on the ground now. Player looks to be okay. And taking this free kick will be Madison Jansen, who's been prominent early. And she has it just defensive side of centre. She's going to chip short, and it's just missed the target. Pitch between two Barwon players. They still have numbers here, but some good pressure by Northern. It almost allowed Murphy Burke to get in there. Tackle now laid on Harrison Smith of AFL Barwon. And the umpire's going to call for the footy once again.
The pressure's been enormous from Northern so far. There's been a lot of stoppages, but they've just found a way to get that ball to ground, so they've been very impressive in those stoppages.
So we've got 9 minutes here, still no goals. It's Northern 1, AFL Barwon yet to score, and a free kick's been picked out. It's going to Demi Hallett of South Barang. Hallett now puts the ball on the boot, gets it towards attacking 50. Good ball came from Thorne, but the ball got at the back. Barwon still have numbers. Trying to attack this footy is Negri. Eventually got possession of it, was tackled. Ball back in dispute. Northern now have an opportunity. Peake was in there trying to get a clean possession. A kick goes wide, and that might be too wide. Is that out in the full? It is. And possession goes back to AFL Barwon.
Gabby Dalla to take this kick, Ben. She's one who's part of the Geelong sister, mate. You got a bit of a future?
Yeah, obviously out of the year last year at Richmond VFLW, but she's a local girl, local Drysdale product, and has since crossed over to our program. So no doubt she'll get an opportunity to play VFL at some stage this year.
Lovely burst of speed from Harrison Smith, but her kick was chopped off. Centre half forward. Kick inside 50 was a reasonable one. Well done by O'Day, who came in late. Picked up Northern with numbers, but Thorne will clear for AFL Bowen, out of trouble for the time being. Ball through the middle of Queen's Park. Who can pick this ball up cleanly again? Northern looked to have the numbers around this footy, 3-on-1, but somehow AFL Bowen emerged with it. Harrison Smith just dumps it forward to half forward. Chases on here. Brooke Wells applying some pressure for AFL Bowen. Strong tackle too, and we'll holding the footy is a decision.
Yeah, it's against Taylor Gray. She did well in the first instance. There's a couple of times early in the call, but Northern had all the territory early, but AFL Barwon's been able to do what Northern couldn't. That's put the score on the board. You look at the inside 50 entries, they seem to have started to even up now after Northern had the early dominance, and Allen's been able to get the score on the board. 2 goals from 3 shots a goal in the opening minutes, and really the last 7 minutes have been dominated by the home side, and they lead by 13 on this lovely morning here at Queen's Park. 14 players won. Nyawalla back in the ruck for Northern as the ball's in dispute. Laying the tackle from behind there was Perrott, and the ball's now locked up. It might get a second stoppage here. The umpire just circling around the back. Eventually he's going to have to call for the footy as the tackle was laid by Hallett inside the middle of the ground for Northern.
We talked a lot about the pressure from Northern throughout the ground. They just haven't been able to emulate that in their defence as they get another clearance from AFLW Barwon.
Harrison Smith pumped it inside 50. Lovely trap from Wells. Couldn't quite pick up the footy though. Inch forward by Sharon Ford. Ball spills clear. Nyawalla tried to get her hands to it. Couldn't quite. Comes in hard again. Spills clear. Negri couldn't get her hands to it. Ball still inside 50 here. Ford tried to find Betton but missed her by hand, and there's another whistle holding the footy again. It's that woman again, Emma Allen. She's on fire early. She's at half forward, the captain. Urges her players to go deep, and she goes in that direction towards McClelland's. Couldn't hold the mark. Ball goes forward. Ford, can she soccer it through? She lost her footing at the vital time, and the ball spills clear now to Koika, who's got some time and space. 2-on-1 contest numbers with the Northern Footy League. Allen comes in for AFL Barwon. Her kick was smothered. Ball at half back. Lovely bit of play, but the ball sails out on the full as Shaylee Murphy-Blake tried to get a kick on the left foot.
So it's going to be brought back in quickly by Negru, who sends the ball towards the 50-metre mark. It's come off hands to Eckersley, who kicks inside 50, and she's found a target. McClelland's marked on the chest in the right forward pocket. It's a pretty tight angle from here. She may well shoot after the quarter-time siren. Some quick thinking work there from AFL Barwon, recognising there wasn't long left in the quarter, getting the ball in quickly to one-on-one contest, and now McClelland can line up from the pocket. Her kick was always missing to the near side, and that's through for a minor score. So AFL Barwon moves to 2 goals, 3-15. Northern Football Netball League 1 behind as the siren sounds on the first term here at Queen's Park. And Josh and Ben, the home side, be pretty content with the way they started this game.
Absolutely, Ben. We'll get your thoughts quickly before we head off for a short break. What did you make of the opening term?
Yeah, as we mentioned during the broadcast, I think that just took a little while for the Geelong side to settle. Northern were obviously dominant early, but once they actually, I suppose, sussed out their opponents a bit, worked out, got a bit of continuity in their game, they showed some really good passages of play, and Emma Allen was obviously the player forward for AFL Barwon in that quarter that really took advantage of those entries and was able to put a couple of goals on the scoreboard. So, no, it was a promising first term.
Absolutely. So it's AFL Barwon by 14 points in the opening term to open Interleague. Massive day of footy and netball. Join us in a couple of moments for the second term.
Ken up the commentary day, really.
No, yeah. No, not the best either.
Welcome back to the second term here at Queen's Park. It's AFL Bowen 2-15 leading the Northern Footy League. One behind as we just await this second half. And there's the siren. So it was a hot start around the footy. What will we see in this second term? Dominant hit out early by Perrott for AFL Bowen. And she lays a strong tackle too and earns herself a free kick for her efforts. Sarah Perrott, lovely effort to start the second term. Chipping ball, hangs up in the air a long time. Still allowed Noala to get a fist in. Shovelled forward, good mark by O'Day. Called to play on, so she hands a long way back to Taylor, who kicks in the middle of the ground to half forward. Thorne couldn't gather cleanly. It's Northern who emerge with it. There's runners on this outer side with Taylor, who looks to get the footy now. She comes in, players fall all over the place. Ball still at half forward for Northern. Shovelled forward, Thorne was clean at ground level, had to dispose of the footy quickly. That's a thumping tackle. I think it, who was that? I think Sophie O'Day down there. Very strong tackle and a hot start again, Sam.
Yeah, I was out at the huddle at quarter time for Northern. Coach Caroline Kilmartin just thought that the pressure dropped off and thought that the Northern girls were playing from behind, allowing the first opportunity to fall to the AFL Barwon girls. So they'll see if they can correct that early in this quarter as Nyawalla goes in. Her handball might have falcon the opponent, but she's taken the ball cleanly and done well there low. Got a kick inside 50, but couldn't find a target. I don't think 15 was played because a quick handball was thrown out, and it gives an opportunity to AFL Barwon here as a scrubby kick goes towards the boundary line. One-on-one contest there. Northern end up getting more support, and a quick kick came out, but it's going to be intercepted, and a sliding mark is taken by Laura Negri.
Good grab by Negri, and she kicks deep inside 50, but chopped off at the top of the goal square. Driven wide, good looking kick too. Finds Bond, I think that is, the opposite back pocket. Kick through the middle of the ground in the direction of Bays. Just fell short of her. Numbers converge around the footy again, and we'll have another stoppage. So 2 minutes gone in this second term. Neither side yet to add to their quarter time totals. Thorne just bursts away from the stoppage, and then Dalla kick inside 50. Fires are wanted. There's a whistle. Which way is it going to go? I think it might be a Northern free kick. And it is going the way of the Northern Footy League.
So an opportunity to relieve some pressure here. They've been under the pump since the midway point of the quarter. It's a dangerous ball back through the corridor. A juggled attempt wasn't able to be taken. It allows Barwon to get players back inside and create potentially another scoring opportunity. It's almost stacks on the mill here. A bit of free kick's been paid, and it's going to go AFL Barwon's way for a hold, it looked like, in that tackle. And taking the free kick, can't quite work out. We're not well positioned here with the glare coming across us, but it's an opportunity for Barwon nevertheless.
It might be Sophie O'Day again, who's been quite prominent in the first quarter and part of this first part of the second quarter. So
her kick goes long to the top of the goal square. The pack converges. No one was able to take a mark. Ball near the boundary line. Trying to keep it in there was Horton for AFL Barwon off hands. That ball goes out of bounds. So the opening 3 minutes here, and the ball's been locked inside AFL Barwon's attacking 50. No score added since quarter time. It is Barwon 15 leading Northern Football Netball League 1.
Ball parked inside AFL Barwon's forward 50 to open this second term. Palm down. Who's going to be cleanest at ground level? It's still pretty dewy out there despite the sun blazing through at the moment. Ford was a clean pick up from her. Didn't get much on the kick though as it inched towards the goal square, and there's a free kick going the way of the Northern Footy League. Couldn't quite see what that was for, but they can relieve some pressure again. Kick very wide. I think it was marked inside the line by Koika, and it was. Still inside their defensive 50. She has chips down the line, had 2 numbers to kick to. One of them was Sian Clancy. She's still at half back. Looks inboard. Careful kick, falls short of her intended target. Thorne burst through. She was dumped as soon as she picked it up. Ball still at half forward. Numbers around this. Northern emerge with it with some nice work, but it'll come back. O'Day been very busy to start this second term. She goes quickly. Wheels and turns inside 50. Juggling mark dropped by Koika. It was a good effort. Shovelled forward. 2-on-1 numbers here with the Northern Footy League if they can pick the ball up cleanly. And they'll get a free kick for some high contact.
It's been their only saving grace, isn't it, so far? They just haven't been able to link some play out of defence here. Can they work it out on this occasion? A short kick out goes almost to a 2-on-1. Barwon have the numbers there. Just stripped of it was Jansen as she went to break away. Now a quick kick comes out of defence, but there's a wall of Barwon players set up. It got through that. O'Brien did well, picked the footy up, shrugged off a would-be tackler and gave the handball off. Now the ball ricochets back in her path. Falls to the feet of Coburn, who's part of the Northern Leadership Group. She's wrapped up in a great tackle, and there's going to be a ball up. 50 out from the AFL Barwon goal. 5 minutes played, second term here at Queen's Park. Second quarter, as we say, and it's Barwon 15, Northern 1. As I think the umpire's going to have to call for this again. Coburn wrapped up in a tackle. No, holding the ball paid. And it's going to be an AFL Barwon free kick. And it's to Madison Jansen, who's been in the thick of everything in this second term.
Kicks inside 50. Is the mark paid? I think it is. To Tamika Betson. She's just inside 50. Called to go now. Kicks from the paint. Good looking kick to the hot spot. No mark taken. Was shovelled forward by Laura Taylor. Ball's heading towards the top of the goal square, and the umpire again folds the arms. Will have a stoppage directly in front for AFL Barwon, who lead by 14 points. 6 minutes gone in this second term. Spinning clearance came from Breckle, and they can extract again, but that's as far as they're going at the moment. The Northern Footy League kick back inside 50 from Oliver. Good looking 1-2. No mark taken. Was well done by Jansen, who showed some pace but was stripped of it. There's the captain, O'Brien, who clears for the Northern Footy League. Wells was dumped for AFL Barwon as she went to collect the footy from ground level. Northern are trying to extract it in tight, and they do now, but it's all AFL Barwon. There's numbers everywhere you look. There'll be Megan Adcock, who picks up at centre half back. She's got some time and space to work the ball, but her kick was too strong for Gabby Dalla. Ball back in the middle of Queen's Park. Dalla does a reasonable job, but Northern clear it now. Thumb clear, but Niawala emerges with it. Handballs in the direction of Amanda Kennedy. Fell short of her. We're still in the centre square here at Queen's Park. Plenty of numbers around this one. I reckon we might have a stoppage and no one can clear it, but no, it was very clean hands from Oliver, who released Thorne.
And now the kick to half forward. It's a one-on-one contest. It gets through the back, off legs, and it's favourous for Northern as the ball went back in the path of O'Brien. She couldn't take it first time around. Now she's slapping the ball into the path of Peake, who is well bumped off that footy here. Nice pick up and handball by Perrott for Barwon. They've got numbers across half-back if they can just get through, but the tackle rather was a good one. It's incorrect disposal, and it's a free kick to Northern. And a centering ball finds its way into Tamara Alcorn. So she's inside the centre square here at Queen's Park. She's going to load up and go to 50. Niawala the target. She has to jump from behind. There's Northern players at the fall of the footy here and a real opportunity. The handball from Blythe went in the path of Cross, who's going to pick the footy up and backtrack. Handball to a stationary target who's going to kick inside 50, Millhouse. Niawala nearly got that one on the bounce. Barwon have numbers. A great tackle by Niawala, and the umpire has rewarded her. And the Northern Football Netball League ruckman, who's gone forward, has the opportunity to get her side's first goal of the game. She'll be kicking from about 20 metres out, no angle at all to speak of. Sabrin Niawala. It's a spearing ball and it's missed to the right-hand side. So an opportunity goes begging there for Northern, and they move to two behinds, AFL Barwon 2-3-15. 8 minutes played, second term.
Well, it was almost identical to that first quarter there. AFLW Barwon having all the forward pressure and all the forward inside 50 entries. Northern Football Netball League had one inside 50 entry, and they had the opportunity to score. It just didn't work out for them, but it will give them some momentum as they go forward.
As the short kick in finds its way to Bridget Taylor, who's going to kick across her defence now. She's got a target on the outside who's going to keep the ball in play. This is Taylor. She was dispossessed in a good tackle though, so an opportunity for Northern, but Barwon have a few numbers set up back in this back pocket. Lots of numbers around this footy. Eventually it's off hands and there'll be a throw in. About 20 out from the Northern Football Netball League goal. We've got 9 minutes in the second term. It's 15 Barwon to the Northern Football Netball League.
Just the one score in this second term. Nearly 9.5 gone in it. Lovely palm down, but the extraction was good. They can clear, but it might be coming back in a hurry too. All the numbers with the Northern Footy League. Kick back inside 59 Weller, which is nearly a good mark, reaching over the top two. Ball's at ground level. The umpire folds the arms quickly and we'll have another ball up.
So lots of numbers inside the Northern attacking 50 here. They've been pushing for the past minute or two, haven't quite been able to put it on the scoreboard as a good tackle was laid on the far side, so the umpire will have to call for the football once again.
Ben, what are you seeing in this second term, mate? Any changes you can see from the first?
I think early on in this quarter it's probably been the run of some of the Geelong players. Dalla, Thorne, there's troubled the Northern Footy League at times, but it just looks like the momentum might have just shifted a little bit just in the last couple of minutes back towards the Northern Footy League.
You feel for Northern though, they have to just get something on the board now for their efforts. Obviously if the ball goes down the other end and Barwon can kick the next goal, it really opens up a pretty big lead in what's been a low scoring game to this point in time. So they always desperately need the next one, and they might just have it. No, it's a flying shot on goal from Cross that's just missed to the near side. So Northern goes to 3 behinds. AFL Barwon 2-3-15. It's now an even 2-goal ball game.
Be brought back in by Brooklow. Just goes to the pocket to Thorne, who can't control one that bounced off her chest, and will have a throw in 35 around from home for the Northern Footy League. As Ben Wallace says, momentum feels like it might have just slightly shifted in the last 3 to 4 minutes of this second term. We've played 11 minutes in it. Thump down. Another opportunity here, and strong hands presented by Stacey Cross. Is this beyond her, boys, or is this right on her limit?
She looks pretty confident going back. It's now, well, she's done the fake kick inside now, so she fooled everyone here. The kick to the hot spot. O'Brien tried to crash through, left it for a smaller teammate who's just lost possession of the footy. He might have to get rid of this one. The umpire lets it go, but yeah, took the mark and quickly went back and looked pretty confident, but just dropped it in that hot spot about 30 out from goal. O'Brien's going to do the ruck work now for Northern. She got hands to it. Barwon have numbers underneath. A handball though was errant. It came out to Old Corn, but a high tackle's been paid. And in fact, is it a high tackle or a throw is actually being paid? And it's going to be a Northern free kick to Bianca Jones. About 35 out from goal by the time she shoots. Numbers getting back. Cross has gone deep into the goal square. So too Nia Weller. As an opportunity for Jones. Her side doing well over the past couple of minutes, but haven't been able to put one through the big sticks. This one's going to fall just short. Nia Weller got a hand to it. Can she sock her off the ground? She has. It might have been over the line originally though, so it looks like the minor of the scores has been paid. And we wait on confirmation. It looks like the minor score now confirmed. So it's a rush behind, and Northern moves to 4 points. AFL Barwon 2 goals, 3-15.
So Northern pressing here, but as Sam and Nick rightly say, they just need to put a score on the board now. A goal would be very handy at this stage of the term. They've got another opportunity here. Kick in was marked, and they'll have another inside 50. They're peppering the goals at the moment. Strong fist came from Brooklow for AFL Barwon to repel another attack. Ball still live though at ground level. We're 45 from home. Shovelled clear. First in the scene will be Koika for the Northern Footy League, who's been busy. Spinning and turning was Kennedy. Kick back inside 50, chopped off by Sarah Perrott for AFL Barwon. High footy. Mark was spilt by Brooklow. Might not have been paid anyway, but she'll earn herself a free kick for some high contact, and she plays on immediately. Kicks to the wing. The kick won't quite carry to Eckersley. Ball teetering near the boundary. She lays a strong tackle too, and the umpire's going to ping the Northern player for holding the footy and be going the way of Chloe Eckersley.
So Eckersley now across half-back. A quick kick goes down the line from Wells. Couldn't quite find the target. At the back of the pack, numbers lie, but the ball comes out of bounds. Ben, can you just give us an idea as to the, I guess, the setup of a female footy across the AFL Barwon region? Obviously great to see the Geelong side join the AFLW competition over the summer as well, but just an insight into, I guess, the setup of women's football out this way.
Yeah, it's remarkable to think that it was only 2 years ago, I suppose, that we only had one senior local women's football team in North Geelong, and now to have 2 divisions in senior women's competitions, our own VFLW side, and and now an AFLW team is just quite extraordinary. And even a concept like this, I mean, was probably a dream to a lot of people a couple of years ago. So to have our own AFL Barwon Interleague side representing the region is fantastic.
Absolutely. I know from our side of things as well, last year, I mean, we're in a similar boat as well. To have 3 divisions now in the one league's outstanding. Great to see the growth of women's footy, and to have a rep game as well, a possibility, as you say, that we probably didn't think was, at this time, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, would be possible in such a short frame of time. As Barwon now press again, the kick's going to go deep into the forward pocket, but it is wide, and it looks like it's too wide. It looks like the umpire's called out of bounds on the full. No, it's going to be a throw-in. In fact, it is just pitched inside, so there'll be a throw-in deep inside AFL Barwon's attacking 50.
And even later today, the Geelong VFLW side will be playing against Essendon down in Colac, which is a great thing for the Colac region, but there's a number of girls in that side that have come through the AFL Barwon pathway now, or the Geelong Falcons under 18, so it's great to see that pathway really being established.
As the ball trickles out of bounds once again, so another throw-in about 15 out from the AFL Barwon goal.
That was the voice of Ben Waller. You could hear the Geelong AFLW operations and recruiting manager. Great to have him on board for the first half this morning. Ball making a rare appearance really in this second term for AFL Barwon inside 50. Kick came clear, but it'll float out of play. Haven't seen much of the captain in this term, Ben Allen. She was hot in the opening term, but she's been quelled somewhat with the ball, not spending much time down there this quarter.
Yeah, I reckon Mel Hickey would have almost been tempted to try and get around the footy a little bit more, with obviously Northern having most of the ball this quarter, but hopefully they might have get a bit of the ball down there in this last little bit of the second quarter.
Well, she's going to do the ruck work on this occasion up against Niawella. Ball fell to the front of the pack. It's hemmed up close to that boundary line again. Harrison Smith tries to keep it in as a flying shot goes towards goal, and it's just hit the goal post there. That would have been a miraculous goal from deep in the forward pocket. Goal post denies that, and it's Barwon 16, Northern 4, as Northern quickly looked to bring the ball out of the fence. A mark dropped towards the boundary line. That was by Koika. She goes in to lay the tackle, and that's going to be a ball up. Who's that? Whose foot did that one come off, that shot from deep in the pocket?
Couldn't quite pick it up, Ben. I don't know if you caught it at all.
Going to be a miraculous goal that went in.
That would have been something that would have been hard to beat all day, I reckon, if that had floated through. So we're still inside 50 for the AFL Barwon side here, but it's cleared briefly from Northern. The ball spills to the back. Wilkes on the scene for AFL Barwon. Couldn't pick up cleanly. Numbers converge around the footy now. Quick soccer off the ground. It's very congested in there at the moment. The ball just pinning around, but in the end Northern will be able to relieve some pressure. The mark was taken by Megan Allen, and she kicks wide, and there's a bit of space here for Ali Koika to work with, but she was encroached immediately as soon as she picked the ball up at half back. Numbers coming quickly for AFL Barwon if they can get it forward. There's a whistle, and it's holding the footy, I think, was the decision, and it's going the way of the Northern Footy League on the outer side.
Yeah, good work there by Koika. Against more numbers, laid the first tackle, then went in again after she got an unkind bounce while running at that footy. Now she sends a long ball towards Stacey Cross, who's going to lead the foot race, paddles to herself, kept it in front, and now kicked it inside 50. Hallett's her only target. How will this one sit? Hallett did well to try and control it. She's still going in here. An opportunity for Northern if she can get a handball out. She couldn't quite, but a high free kick looks to have been paid, and it's going to Demi Hallett, who's going to be shooting from about 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle. And a late opportunity here, 18 minutes into the second term for Northern to add a goal. Hallett kick's going to be wide, and it's out of bounds on the full. Just got too close to the player on the mark there, and that ball ends up out of bounds. So no change in the score. We're into the final 2 minutes of this opening half, and it's AFL Barwon with 2 goals to Emma Allen, leading 2 goals 4-16 to Northern, 0 goals 4-4.
Been under the pump, feels like all quarter AFL Barwon, but they've yet to concede a goal, fortuitously or not. Northern have had the bulk of play, Nick, but they just haven't been able to convert on the scoreboard, mate.
They haven't, but what they've been able to do well is in one-on-one contests, and even in contests where they've been outnumbered, they've still been able to find a way to get that ball to ground until numbers came to it. There was a point in the middle of that second quarter where Moorcroft was against 3 players, and she was still able to win a free kick out of it. So their endeavour in the contests has been fantastic. I'm sure if they keep this pressure up, they'll get a goal on the board eventually.
So we're into the final minute now. Ball still deep in Northern's attacking half of the ground, about 55 out from their goal as Niawala paddled to the front of the pack. As Barwon now going to extract a good work in tight situation there from Harrison Smith. Centre ball towards centre wing. Allen came back with great courage for Northern. Couldn't complete the mark. There's still an opportunity though. The kick was fantastically smothered. Now the ball's paddled in the direction of the Northern player in Koika. She's wrapped up in a great two-player tackle, and that's going to be a ball up on true centre wing here at Queen's Park.
Final 30 seconds of the term. Tossed up. McClellan did a good job to win the hit out. Sockered forward. Coming through hot was Negri. 10 seconds to go now. The ball's at half forward. Don't think there'll be enough time for a final score here to round out the opening half. Ball tossed up now. And there is the siren as Niawala got the hit out down. It's AFL Barwon, the inaugural AFL Barwon senior women's side, leading the Northern Footy League 2-4-16 to 4 behinds at half time. Emma Allen with both goals for the AFL Barwon side, all in the opening term. Northern Footy League enjoyed a pretty strong second term, boys, but as we mentioned throughout that term, they just couldn't get that much needed goal for them.
Yeah, well, the opening minutes of the quarter were dominated by AFL Barwon, and the Northern backline probably did well to hold up against intense pressure. And then you could say the same for AFL Barwon as the quarter went on. Probably the ball spent more time in the Northern attacking half of the ground, particularly the later stages of that quarter, but just unable to put the score on the board. As you said, Nick, they're getting enough opportunities, Northern, to put it on the scoreboard. The worry for them is going to be if AFL Barwon can have a period as they did from the middle part of the first into quarter time. If they can have a 10-minute burst and add 1 or 2 goals, it makes it so hard. It's a low-scoring game. We've only seen the 2 goals, and it's really going to come down to which side better takes their opportunities in the second half.
Well, also that, but as well as the clearances, Samuel. I mean, in the first quarter, we saw AFL Barwon dominate those clearances at the start of the game, but we saw Northern catch up. So that's a key difference inside the game as well. If they can get those clearances from those stoppages to get that ball inside 50, it gives them more of an opportunity. But you're right, Samuel. If AFLW Barwon do manage to get that first goal of the second half, it's going to be very difficult for the Northern girls to get back in it.
Ben, before we go to a break, and just if you were in the locker room now at half time, what would be your message for perhaps either side as to one for AFL Barwon to retain the lead and then away for Northern to get back into it?
Yeah, I think from an AFL Barwon point of view, Mel will be really keen just to keep using that outside run that they've got. Charlotte Thorne looked really dangerous early on in that second quarter. Gabby Della's playing really well. Sophie O'Day's had a lot of the ball. So I think if they can use some of that outside speed, I think it could be, particularly as this ground, the conditions start to dry out a little bit more, gets a bit faster the game. Late in the game, that could be really important for the AFL Barwon side.
And if you were to put the opposite hat on, and if from a Northern point of view, what would you see that potentially could change or something that gets them back into the game and onto the scoreboard?
Well, I think the scoreboard in some ways is actually not really reflective of how tight this contest is. So they've been pretty stiff at Northern Footy League not to have a couple more goals potentially on the board. Stacey Cross has looked really dangerous down there a couple of times. So I think they have given AFL Barwon a lot to think about. So yeah, but I think the battle will probably be won in the midfield in the second half.
Ben, I know you've got to get on the highway, mate, and head down to Colac to watch the Cats Open. Thank you very much for joining us, mate, and giving up a bit of your morning to watch this first half, and all the best for the Cats girls this afternoon.
Fantastic. Thanks for having me. It's a wonderful concept, and hopefully it goes on for many years to come.
We'll take a short break. We'll be back with the second half in about 5 minutes or so. Appreciate it, buddy. this AFL Barwon female side. 2-4-16 lead in the Northern Footy League. 4 behinds. It's been an engrossing contest so far, Samuel, and we're looking forward to a big second half.
Absolutely, we are, and it's been, as you say, nice and close so far, and it's exactly what you want it. Maybe the scoring opens up with a drier ground as we're underway here in the third term, but obviously the conditions early on were really tough. It was a dewy footy, a really slippery one at that, but obviously the conditions overhead are lovely now and really conducive to some good footy as AFL Barwon try to extract the first clearance as the tackle there was laid on Madison Jansen. So the goal scorer so far was only the one. It's Emma Allen with both goals, and she's been the difference between these two sides in the opening half with her AFL Barwon side 16 leading Northern 4 as the umpire for a third time is going to have to ball this one up from the restart. So it's Perrott to go up against Nyawalla. Nyawalla won that one down to the front of the pack, and a quick kick goes forward by Blythe inside 50 where a strong mark is taken out on the long lead. Good work there by Tamara Olcorn to hold that footy in, and now she's going to load up and go to the top of the goal square. She's got a one-on-one. O'Brien's her target. She was able to outmuscle her opponent in Taylor, but Taylor did well to corral her along the boundary line, and now the umpire is going to have to call for this footy, and there'll be, well, it won't be, it's going to be allowed to go on there as there's a ball right outside the Northern goal square. A couple of handballs come out, and now a shot over the body from Olcorn's going right to the line. It took a couple of fortunate bounces. Has that gone in for a goal? It has. A miraculous goal from Tamara Olcorn with 2 defenders on the goal line. It bounced over both of their heads. Not much they could do about that one. And Olcorn gets Northern its first goal in this representative game. And they move to 1 goal, 4-10. AFL Barwon 2 goals, 4-16. And a bit of Shane Warne magic there. The leg break on the goal line gets Northern its first goal.
Unbelievable. There's 2 players on the goal line that avoided them both. So very good bounce if you're a Northern supporter. Just a goal the margin now. As I welcome Rob Winston to the coverage. G'day, Rob. There's another clearance. I'll get to you in a minute, mate. It's inside 50 again for the Northern Footy League. Ball deep inside 50. Geelong repel for the time being. Ball sent up forward. Nyawalla, great grab. She's been dominant in the opening half.
She celebrated a milestone game last week for VU as well, her 50th game as she goes inside 50. An opportunity again for Northern. They've got 2 players inside. I think Olcorn might have run into a teammate there, which was Demi Hallett, so she looks to be okay, but nearly some friendly fire there as there'll be a ball up inside Northern's attacking 50. Ball tap to the front of the pack. Unable to get it first time around was Thorne, but she's still around the contest. A good pick up from Cross, who just thumps the ball towards goal on the run, and that goes out of bounds. Northern just winning it at the coalface, and when we were speaking to Ben and Nick at the end of the second term, they did mention about the importance of winning the clearance here as the ground starts to dry up, and it's all Northern in the opening minutes of this quarter.
Absolutely. Ball tucked in to the behind post then. Great position for the Northern Footy League. Thump down, just overrunning it was Olcorn. Couldn't quite get her hands to it. Numbers around the footy. Spills clear. Another great chance for Koika, who doesn't quite make it on the goal line. And AFL Barwon go quickly to half back, reaching over the top. Doing a good job was Nicole Blythe. Couldn't quite control the mark. Strong tackle too, and there's a free kick going the way of the Northern Footy League. So they continue to pepper the goal face here.
As the opportunity goes long to the top of the square, O'Brien charged at it, had 2 bites at the cherry, couldn't control the mark. Barwon doing well to repel here. Long kick goes outside, but there's all Northern players waiting to bring this one back in. It's Bond who gets there first. She had Blythe for support, but she tried to break the tackle and she's gone. A great tackle laid on the far side of the ground, and AFL Barwon can relieve some pressure. It looks like it's Madison Jansen on that far side.
Rob, what do you made of the opening 4 minutes, mate? To me, it looks like all Northern Footy League at the moment.
Welcome, boys, to the call here for the second half. At the moment, Northern definitely on top here, and noticed Koika's continued her first half form, and you know, Northern should probably get a little bit of reward for effort here, but yeah, they wouldn't want to concede a goal here.
Yeah, well, they've done all the early attacking. We saw in the first half that AFL Barwon were just so ruthless when going inside 50, able to score so regularly. They've got a player on the outside here, which is Wilk. She was in a ton of space, eventually comes her way. She marks right on the outstanding WorkSafe AFL Community Championships logo that's embedded on the ground today. She went towards half forward. A ball came from behind. That was by Murphy. A great tackle was laid there on Ash Bays, and the ball spills out. Here we go with Dulla. She first time overran it. She might go in again here, but doing some good work there was Murphy Burke, who threw the ball on the boot. Overrunning it was Taylor Gray, but crosses there in support. She was so clean below the knees there and got a handball out to Bond, who sends a ball into the middle of the ground. And here's the woman that you were just speaking of, Robert Winston, Ali Koika, takes one bounce. It just comes up to her. Now she's going to kick towards half forward. It's a 2-on-1, but it's a great kick, and Northern have players at the back here. A quick mark taken there by Kennedy. She's got to move this one on quickly because sneaking forward was Olcorn, and she marks on the lead. Great transition work there by the Northern Football Netball League. Probably the best movement they've been able to put together today, and it's ended in the arms of Olcorn, who was their goal kicker just a few moments ago.
Fantastic there, Sam. Beautiful transition footy, as you just said.
As Olcorn now comes in, right on her range, kick towards goals, going right to the line, doesn't quite make it. It's off hands, it's kept in play, and the kick's wide, hugs the boundary line, but it's going to stay in. As trying to attack that one there was Clancy. She did well in not much space on the boundary line. Got the handball off to a teammate who was wonderfully tackled. A great rundown chase there by Sarah Perrott, and she is rewarded with a free kick in her defensive 50.
It was a huge effort. It needed one too, but the kick will be coming straight back over her head in a minute as the mark is taken by Chloe Moorcroft. 70 from home, left foot chipping ball, good fist. Came late. That was great effort by O'Day. She's been a real goal for AFL Barwon early. Thorne burst clear of the stoppage and got her hands clear, and then she goes again. The second effort was fantastic. She ducks inside, goes a right foot snap, but it was partially smothered. Ball still inside 50 for the Northern Footy League. They keep it in. They do a good job of that too, and the ball will be tossed up just inside the paint of 50. 2-4-16 to 1-4-10, as you can see on the bottom left of your screen, in this third term.
As the contest is certainly lifted in this quarter, Northern doing all the attacking. A strong mark taken there by Clancy, who wills quickly and now sends a ball inside 50. The target looked to be O'Brien. Getting in front of her, doing well, was Oliver of Barwon. Ball now in dispute. Northern have the numbers there. Good tackle, dispossessed the ball carrier. Now a smothered laid. O'Brien just overran the footy. She had Hallett there for support. She was wrapped up in a two-player tackle there, and Megan Adcock was one of those players who had her wrapped up. We're going to have a ball up. But 45 out from the Northern goal. 7 minutes played in this third quarter. Northern with the solitary goal for the third term. 10 plays 16 in favour of the hosts here, AFL Barwon, as another big tackle laid on attacking 50, and the umpire will have to call for it once again.
Tell you what, AFL Barwon are doing really well in defence here, with all the Northern doing majority of the attacking. Yeah, AFL Barwon's defence is really holding up well here in this third quarter.
Tossed up. Niwella had been terrific in the ruck this morning. Hands came clear. It was a borderline throw, but the plan was a call. Clancy's kick was smothered, but they get it inside 50 again. The Northern Footy League repelled briefly by Oliver, but her hands fell short of the target. Strong tackle again. The pressure around the footy has been high class this morning. We'll have another ball up. Just repeating that score: 2-4-16 for Barwon to 1-4-10. The Northern Footy League tossed up quickly. Niwella has two bites of the cherry. Thorne tries to find a way through. She was caught. Plan was a call from the umpire. Now he's found a free kick for a high tackle going the way of AFL Barwon. Short ball was risky. It was over the head. Allen, the lone AFL Barwon representative there, was bumped off the footy. Lovely sidestep and the kick inside 50. Over the head of Cross. Couldn't quite complete the mark. Ball at ground level. Who's going to be cleanest? Hands came clear. Taylor for AFL Barwon. Now forward. Clearing kick over the head of Niwella, thumped towards Negri, but she couldn't complete the mark. Quick hands from Bond, and then kicked back inside 50 by Koika, who's been very, very busy for the Northern Footy League. Ball comes wide, inside 50 again. It's in the hot spot for the Northern Footy League. Can they make something of this time? It's a strong bump. O'Day went down for AFL Barwon. Quick, lovely spinning and turn by Blythe, but her kick is narrow and through for a minor score.
She had a lot more time there, Blythe. Probably just rushed it. Probably thought she was under a lot more pressure than she actually was there.
So the ball now is the game rather just momentarily halted here as the player on the ground.
I think it was Sophie O'Day.
So
Sam, I think.
Yeah, it looks
I
a bit.
saw that correctly.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. So she's slow to get to her feet here. It's great that the trainers are out there so quickly to attend to her, and she's up to her feet, which is absolutely fantastic to see. Taking a few moments to catch her breath, and great to see that she's back to her feet and also running this one off. So she goes to the bench now. Play to resume with Northern 1-5-11, AFL Barwon 2-4-16. It was a 2-goal or a 12-point margin at halftime. It's now down to 5 as Northern set up the wall across their defensive or attacking 50, but winning it forward now. Nyawalla tried to find Hallett, couldn't quite get there, and Barwon now have an opportunity. It's a thumping ball towards centre wing, and here's the foot race. Megan Allen did really well under immense pressure. Her handball backwards was almost run down by De Groot, and now an opportunity for Barwon. Harrison Smith went back by hand. It's an open forward 50. She puts it out into the space as the players now run after this footy. Taylor Gray did well to paddle backwards for Northern. Now she runs into a wall of tacklers. She did well though to prevent that one pushing forward further, and AFL Barwon have their best opportunity for the quarter with the ball locked up about 30 out from their attacking goal.
Lovely bit of transition from the AFL Barwon side, and a lovely hit out too. Fell to Jansen, snap on goal is just wide. Through for a minor score. Would have been like the first term where they were beaten in general play, but then were able to make the most of their opportunities.
She was outstanding there under not much space at all to quickly get that ball onto the boot, and it just missed fading across the face of goal. So I just say almost a carbon copy of what we saw in the second term. The kick in from the fence is well marked overhead. Strong play. And now a kick towards half-back. Koik is going to be the target. She's got about 3 or 4 players to beat it. Ball gets to ground level, trying to work that ball forward, and in the end doing well. I think it was Jansen again, and that ball goes out of bounds for a throw-in. About 50 out from the AFL Barwon goal. They've just settled in the past minute or two, and an opportunity here to extend their 6-point advantage.
As the sunshine is starting to come over the beautiful oval here, boys. I'll tell you what, we're in for a fantastic day of footy coming up with 4 games live that we'll be privileged to watch here this afternoon.
As the ball finally extracted from back behind the fence, and we're ready to start again. As the umpire throws the ball back into play. 12 minutes played, third term. It's Barwon 17, Northern 11. Ball paddled towards the boundary line, and a quick shot from the pocket from Harrison Smith just bounces across the face. It's kept in play though. It's De Groot close into the goal face. Got through one tackle. A miraculous ball almost bounced through for a goal. It went through a couple of sets of hands there, and it was just touched on the goal line. De Groot's effort there, almost what we saw at the other end when the goal was scored from Alcorn, only in for a minor score on that occasion, and it is now 18-11. But Barwon in the last couple of minutes are taking the ascendancy again in this game.
Absolutely. Sharon Ford just couldn't quite get her feet going quick enough on the goal line to soccer it through. So to be tossed in, we're around 30 from goal for AFL Barwon. Nyawalla won it down from the ruck contest. Falls to Negri, who soccers it forward to her own advantage, but was stopped by Taylor Gray. We're still 30 out from home. Nyawalla been very busy. Handballs over the top towards Blythe, but chopped off by Ford, who gets a right boots to it. It'll be repelled by Northern. Good bit of pace shown by Alcorn. And the switch is good too. I think that's Koiker on the outer side, who takes a liberty of one bounce. Could nearly take a second, but opts to kick through the middle of the ground. Pretty good option too, but Negri's in there for AFL Barwon. Couldn't quite collect cleanly. Coburn was dumped in a very strong tackle. The ball's 50 out. Inside 50 for AFL Barwon again, but good mark. Safe mark taken by Bailey McClellan. She swings it wide. Numbers all with the Northern Footy League here on this broadcast side, but the handball misses the target, and here comes the pressure from AFL Barwon, but a hold is paid. I think she thinks she's getting a free kick, but be going the way of the Northern Footy League.
Bit of confusion there.
Murphy Blake with the footy.
And she's going to drive this ball towards centre wing. O'Brien the target from 3 deep. Nyawalla got hands to it at ground level. It was kicked forward from Taylor, or tried to get kicked forward. She was tackled as she went to get rid of that footy. And the umpire calls for it just forward of centre for AFL Barwon. They lead here by 7 as Perrott wins that one down, really up against no one. At ground level, a handball was shovelled out. I think it's Harrison Smith at hands and knees. Ball's now being handballed forward, but it's going to be turned over. Blythe picks up for Northern. A handball over the top to release a teammate in space, Gordon. She was met front on. The ball spills out. Corn wants to take the advantage, which is allowed. The Northern sole goal scorer goes forward looking for Stacey Cross. 2 hands to the footy, did well at ground level, kept the ball in front of her. Now it's O'Brien. Handball off to her teammate Corn, who was wrapped up in a great tackle, and the ball is going to be called for by the umpire about 55-60 metres out from the Northern goal with 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
Thumped down by Nyawella, but none of her teammates could get on the end of it. Thorne just shovels a handball forward and then follows up her own work. That was her handball she picked up. Extraordinary. Kick in the middle of the ground. Not being able to be clean was Eckersley, but they still managed to get the ball forward. Was well done by O'Brien. Got a good fist in and a hand to it as well. Throwing the boot at it again was Eckersley, and they inch it forward. AFL Bowen the kick over the top, but all by herself is Bailey McClellan. She picks up in her own defensive goal square. Has to be quick as the pressure comes from forward. Swings it wide, and the mark is taken by Tamara Knox. She's 35 moment. She chips in board, and it's safe too. To Laura McClellan who marks.
It was good play there because she was switched on there. She quickly got the ball inside, recognised she had players through the corridor, didn't allow the Northern defence to roll back, and also really good pressure in the goal square to not allow an easy exit for Bailey McClanahan, and now an opportunity to, believe it or not, extend the margin to 13 points, which would be greater than what it was at half-time, as the shot on goal is a great one straight through the middle by Laura McClelland. And it is AFL Barwon pushing ahead to a 13-point lead. They move to 3 goals, 6-24. Northern 1-5-11. And Josh Conway does have a feel as it did in the first term where Northern controlled the opening part of the quarter, and then Barwon's really hit back in a strong way to extend the lead out to a game-high advantage. Yeah,
Northern just aren't being able to capitalise, are they, on their dominance in general play at the moment, Rob?
Yeah, no, they go forward once, AFL Barwon, and they lowered the eyes there, and unfortunately, because they were jetting the ball out of defence, they weren't set up, and there was 3 options, and McClellan's put the beautiful goal through, and that's her first, and they extend their lead to 13 points.
So we're back in the middle. O'Brien was shoved out of the ruck contest. Another bit of play, just got the boot to it in time as the pressure came. I think that was Harrison Smith who tried to get the kick clear. Northern Footy League looked to get the ball out of their defensive half, but it's coming back quickly. Kicked us in half forward. Forwards lurking for AFL Barwon. Lovely trap by O'Day, who looks to have recovered. Allen, hands were slick, almost too slick for her oncoming teammate. The ball just inside 50, 45 metres out from home. Trying to emerge with it was Bond for the Northern Footy League, but she was wrapped up quickly in the ball. Will be thrown up. We've got 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes to go now. In this third term, it's AFL Barwon 3-6-24 to Northern Footy League 1-5-11.
And it's certainly a big couple of minutes. If AFL Barwon can get one here, it might be an unassailable lead they take into the final term. So balls hotly being contested. A soccer off the ground came from Eckersley. It goes wide. She goes in again. Eckersley was knocked to the ground without the footy. Umpire allows it to go on, and now it's Bond looking to clear for Northern. Kick outside as found on the far side. Coburn, part of the leadership group for the Northern Football Netball League. Now she sends a ball towards half backwards. Cross has worked hard to push up and provide an option. Her centering ball, will it release Koika? Well, it just didn't get to her on the full, but she did well, and she's going to get the handball back now. Koika sends a ball to half forward. There's a wall of Barwon defenders here ready to take this one forward. It's an opportunity for Taylor, who's wrapped up in a tackle. She's gone. And the free kick's going to go to Triculia. So good defensive work by the Northern forwards here to keep that ball across half forward, and Triculia waits for numbers to push forward, but there's still more AFL Barwon players there. Hallett was her target, but the ball was socked off the ground. Now it's a tough footy in the middle of the ground. Big one to win, and Barwon are going to get this one forward towards half forward. Megan Allen was trying to defend for Northern here as a big tackle is laid. Just blindsided there was De Groot, and she was brought down in a tackle holding the ball, and thankfully gets to her feet, but she just didn't see the traffic coming from the other way, and she was wrapped up in a massive tackle by Triculia.
Was that a big tackle or what?
Bone crunching.
Wonderful. Triculia kicks down, but it's not her best. Allen drops one she probably should have taken. Gee, that was a heavy hit too. Cleaned up her oncoming opponent, not
free kick paid there
deliberately. Yeah, that was pretty high, so the free kick taken by Georgia Gordon to half forward, but be chopped off by AFL Barwon and Bridget Taylor, who looks to go this inboard. Looks to be all northern through the middle of the ground, just soccered forward. Allen's got a bit of space. She's not someone you want to give a lot of space to. She's driven into the ground. No free kick given by the umpire. Ball spills clear to Murphy Blake. Handballs to herself under pressure from Thorne. Does a good job. The ball stays in play. Stripped off it was Millhouse. We're still in play. The ball stuck in between a couple of legs there.
Finally, just trickled out there. It was hanging on the boundary there for a little while.
Bit of tunnel ball, and in the end the ball will be tossed up. We've got 20 seconds to go, Sam, in this term.
You think that might be the last chance Northern had in the previous play, but can Barwon get one forward here as Perrott in the ruck, went in hard, went in again. Nia Weller's at ground level. She's got to make an attempt to get this one out, which she's done. Ball was shoved out by Murphy Blake. That might be the end of the scoring. That's probably a throw that's come out of there. Northern fortunate as Koika worked through some tackles. And the siren sounds for three-quarter time, and it's AFL Barwon extending its lead once again. And as we go to three-quarter time in this 2019 AFL Victoria WorkSafe Community Championships match between the AFL Barwon Women's and the Northern Football Netball League Women's. It is AFL Barwon with the upper hand. 13 points ahead. They are 3-6-24, leading Northern 1-5-11. The goal scorers for Barwon, 2 goals to Emma Allen, 1 to Laura McClelland. And for Northern, the sole goal scorer is Tamara Alcorn. But boys, three-quarters in, and it's AFL Barwon holding sway.
Yeah, boys, I just thought in that third quarter, the first half of it, the Northern girls had the better of the play, just in general play. They kept attacking, but all credit to Barwon's defence. They really held up there. And, one goal apiece in that third quarter probably doesn't really reflect the general play in that third quarter. When Barwon had their probably one of only 3 opportunities, they converted a goal. And
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Taking your chances.
100% there, Samuel. And in such a low-scoring affair, 3-6-24 Barwon, 1-5-11 Northern. It's almost an unassailable lead with a Dewey deck out there, as I was mentioning at half-time. And it's going to take a huge effort from the Northern girls to do any damage here in this last quarter.
So the fourth quarter not far away. We'll be back in a few moments. It's beautifully poised. AFL Barwon 3-6-24. Northern Footy League 1-5-11 at three-quarter time.
Just do that?
Yeah.
No, that would have been me. I said it too far.
football and netball here at Queen's Park. It's the AFL Barwon female team leading the Northern Football Netball League 3-6-24 to 1-5-11 at 3/4 time. Rob Winston, what did you make of that third term? What are you expecting from this final term?
Yeah, third quarter, I felt Northern girls had most of the momentum for around 15 minutes of that 20-minute period. They simply didn't take their chances when they did go forward. I thought Barwon women's team, they did a fantastic job at constantly counter-attacking Northern's attack, and when they only went up forward, what I noticed, 1 of 3 times they converted that opportunity straight through the middle, and one goal apiece probably didn't reflect the dominance of Northern, but they find themselves 13 points up here at 3/4 time, and it's going to take a mighty effort for the Northern girls to be able to get over the line in such a low scoring affair.
Just had the stoppage already to open this final term. No real winners in it. Noella did brilliantly, but Thorne just found a way through, and there wasn't an opening, but she was caught, tried to bite off too much and was pinged. So Northern, really, they need a goal to start this term, and that'll help. It's a really strong mark. Centre forward ball back inside 50. I think that is that Koika. It is Koika centre forward. Sam, I think it might be. Yeah, it is, and she kicks deep inside 50. The ball trickles towards goal. Who's going to be first on the scene? Fortunately for AFL Barn, it was French, but it spills clear, and it's through for a minor score. Would have been the perfect start to the final term of the Northern Footy League, but through for a behind.
So it's now an even 2-goal ball game. 3-6-24 AFL Barwon. Northern 1 goal 6-12 and a short kick in from defence, as Barwon just looked to retain possession in the early parts of this quarter. Another little chip over the top, so they're doing well. And just retaining possession here. And now exiting defensive 50, it's Dalla, whose kick finds its way to a teammate's chest. And taking the mark is Brooke Lowe. Lowe now sends a ball wide. That's out of bounds on the full, and it gives Northern another opportunity to push forward here.
It does. They're about 75 from home, so just chipped inside 50. Breckle dropped the chest mark. Strong tackle came from Laura Taylor from AFL Barwon, and will be thrown up just inside the paint of 50 for the Northern Footy League, who are pressing again to start this final term. Nyla, a lovely hit out. That was textbook. The ball in a great spot, but lovely attack on the footy from Lauren French. She clears it quickly through the middle of Queen's Park. Numbers are wanted at ground level. Ford comes in. Quick kick through the middle of the ground, but reading it best was Murphy Blake, who dropped the mark. We're still in the middle of Queen's Park. Ford again at ground level. Dalla got a head over it. Thorne emerges with it. Was strong. Put her nose over it. Lovely bit of attacking play by Koika again. That was terrific. She read it best. We're still in the middle of Queen's Park. Floating ball just out of reach of Sian Clancy. Thorne keeps her feet for AFL Barn, but shoveled away from her. Pressure around the footy is very strong. Betson just shovels one forward. Approached by 2, just escapes the forward challenge. Clancy inside 50. 3-on-1 numbers with AFL Barwon. French handball over the top to Wells. Clears it down below us in the commentary position, and the ball out of play.
You feel like an early goal's crucial here, don't you? You can't afford, if you're Northern, to leave this one too late. As we said a few times, it's not a high-scoring game, so they need to get on the board quickly in this quarter. Need one in the opening 10 minutes or so. So the ball's tapped to the back as Nyawella looks like she's going to do the majority of the ruck work again in this last quarter. Won it down nicely, but couldn't find a teammate, so there's a secondary stoppage. And it's going to be Nyawella up against Perrott. Nyawella won it down to Cross, who then released by hand Blythe, who kicks inside 50. It's an open forward line to a 2-on-2, and a strong mark is taken out the back there over the top by Tamara Alcorn, and she can line up at goal number 2 from about 38. No, she's going to kick to the leading target, and she's found her. It was good play there by Alcorn, and the mark has been taken on the chest about 20 metres out from goal, albeit on a tightish angle, and an opportunity for Northern here to cut the margin back to 6 points, and the opportunity falls to Chloe Moorcroft.
As Chloe Moorcroft comes in, approximately 25 metres out on a slight angle. Left boot. She's gone towards goal, but she swung the ball right, and that's probably a goal Northern needed. Northern moved to 1-7-13. to AFL Barwon leading here 3-6-24, boys. You just felt they had to get that goal just to get them right back in this contest.
What it does do, though, it cuts it back to just, I guess, a 2-goal advantage, or less than, but a 2-score game, so to speak, as Barwon now look to exit their defensive lines.
They do, but numbers all with Northern again, and a juggling mark taken by O'Brien. She'll kick from just inside 50 or right on it.
She got the distance in it, Josh?
Jeez, it'd take her best from here, but we'll see. O'Brien launches it. Pretty good looking kick to the teeth of goal. French does well to clear, and good mark taken by Betson at half back, relieving one towards O'Day, but O'Brien just with a height advantage reaches over the top, takes the mark, chipping ball, chopped off again by Betson. She tries to paddle it back towards O'Day. Thorne bounces off one, but couldn't get through the second. Caught. And the Northern Footy League press again.
All the momentum with the Northern Footy League at the moment, boys. They've got to get a goal.
Taylor is the recipient of the free kick. Kicks from just outside 50 to the hot spot. Who wanted it? Ball at ground level. That was nearly a throw. Cleared wide. Clever kick by Taylor. Finds a teammate in Gabby Dallow in the opposite back pocket. Kick down the line towards Horton. Couldn't do much with that, and she just forces the ball over the line out of play.
So just some calm decisions there coming out of defence by Barwon, not blazing away, looking out wide, and they found the target on the outside, able to push that ball forward, not just blazing. We saw a few kicks that went straight down the throat of, say, O'Brien. They just need to just calm possession down, which they've done in the last few moments. As Cross tries to barge through, she just got foot to ball there as Nyawella picked it up, gave the handball out. Northern trying to press, a good tackle laid there. Getting involved was Knox of Barwon. Now a big tackle laid by Laura Negri, dispossessed her opponent, and Barwon can push this one forward. They get it to the centre of the ground where a strong mark is taken by De Groot. Just to wait for players to push forward now. She does that and centres the ball. It's a lovely kick as well, and marking on the chest is it Beeston, sorry. And now Beeston can kick inside forward 50, goes to about 30 out where a strong mark's been taken. It's a great contested mark about 20 metres out, or 30 metres out probably, directly in front of goal, and this an opportunity for Barwon to further their lead. Is it Allen who's taken it again?
It was.
And she kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. It is Allen, a towering mark, and she'll go back and kick from about 35 metres out directly in front.
Emma Allen, she got the team's first ever goal in their history. Can she nearly cement their first win? Emma Allen towards goal. It was right on the line, and I think it was rushed through in the end. It's hard to see from
so close.
Point, but
it was looked
right
goal bound,
wasn't it? Yeah. So Northern go quickly. Good clearing kick too. Finds Bays in the back pocket. Jimming ball was good to Georgia Gordon. Still at half back, the Northern Footy League, who trail 3-7-25 to 1-7-13.
As the ball goes towards half back, and a great one-handed mark taken by McClelland. Kicked the last goal of this game, and now just pulling out the party tricks. A great mark overhead. She kicks towards attacking 50. That one bounced off the head there, it looked like, of the Northern defender. Now a ball centred up, and Northern can attack through the far side of the ground. They've got the switch on here as they kick the ball wide, looking for Coburn. Will it sit for her? Not quite the first time. She went in again. Got around a tackler. Now she's in trouble. Has a teammate for support. Handball didn't quite make it, and now Barwon on the turnover. Can they make this one count? Charging through there was Thorne. Kicks it inside 50, but she couldn't find a target, and Northern can relieve here.
They can. They're still deep in their defensive half. It's a good clearing kick too, though, towards O'Brien, who takes a good mark. She's been a presence all morning. O'Brien, chipping ball was chopped off, though. I think that was French coming through. Has a runner on the outside in Wilkes, who kicks towards the paint of 50. Thorne emerges with it. Does she take the advantage? No, she pulled up in time, according to the umpire. I think it's Allen again who was infringed, and it was. So she's outside 50. This will be beyond her. She hands off to McClelland. Doesn't really get a run at it, so she just puts it up to the teeth of goal. Ford was lurking at the back, loses her feet at the crucial time. Ball spills clear. Eckersley couldn't handle the ball cleanly, and the umpire circles have the ball up directly in front.
So 9 minutes tick past in this final term. AFL Barwon 3-7-25, Northern 1-7-13 this term. just a point apiece as a free kick's been paid, and it's going to go Barwin's way. So an opportunity.
It's not Allen again, is it? I think it is.
Who's going to take the free kick? It is. So a hold was paid on that occasion. She kicked from this similar spot a few moments ago and it only just fell short. Can she put this one through?
Well, it's a very gettable shot, boys. 25 metres out. In comes Allen, the captain. This to put the nail in the coffin. And Barwin, that's their 4th goal of the day. They go along to 4-7-31 to Northern 1-7-13. And I tell you what, boys, Emma Allen, with that free kick, you would say that is game over, Red Rover. And it was a fantastic kick from 25 metres out. And,
well,
was never going to miss.
She's been outstanding, hasn't she? She just takes her opportunities. 3 goals, 1 for the day. The one behind was one, if we put down, was touched on the line anyway. So a prodigious talent, and has, well, her score has been the difference in this game. She's kicked 3 goals, and it is an 18-point advantage to AFL Barwon as O'Brien goes into the ruck up against McClelland. Ball hits the deck now, charging through there was Thorne. She gets a kick towards half forward. There's plenty of space to run onto this one for Negri if the ball sits, which it does. She's going to look back through the corridor. It's a nice handball back through. In the end, though, the bounce wasn't kind, and O'Brien got in and she just bowled over her opponent. Now a kick goes towards half forward. Cross was caught behind, and Barwon can push forward towards their half forward line. Coming in to meet that one for Northern was Base. Couldn't quite take the mark. It came out, though, Northern's way, and they've got numbers here as the ball's kicked towards half forward. Who's the target? Draculi is there, playing in front. Didn't get the bounce, but it went in the arms of Cross, who nearly tripped over. She's got a 2-on-1 inside 50. She gets it in there as quickly as she can. How will this one sit? Northern's got the 2-player advantage as Moorcroft just threw it on the boot, but it was wide, and in the end, off a player, bounces into the behind post, so there'll be a throw-in deep inside Northern's attacking half. We've got 11 minutes final term here at Queen's Park. It is AFL Barwon, 4-7-31, leading the Northern Football Netball League 1-7-13.
Yeah, they really need to make use of this entry. Noella just takes it out of the ruck, and Cross, snapping ball is good. There is life in the Northern Footy League yet. Stacey Cross, the neat left foot snap. Their 2nd of the morning, 4-7-31 AFL Barwon Northern Footy League. 2-7-19.
Well, there you go. You just never know, do you? There's still time. There's 8 minutes to go yet in this one here, and that was one that Northern desperately needed. A quick snap on goal from Stacey Cross, and it just keeps this one alive in the closing stages.
Yeah, boys. Against the run of play, I felt like Bar would have had all the run this last quarter, but that Cross left boot snap certainly gives them a sniff. They're going to have to get a goal very quickly.
So we're back in the middle, and it's stumped down 2 by Kat O'Brien, and she gets the clearance as well. So they are pressing and doing a good job. Was Gordon releases a teammate, high ball, hot footy. Gee, that was a good spoil from Adcock. Did a brilliant job on the last line of defence. Clearing kick to half back. I think the ball will trickle out of play.
She was outstanding there, Adcock. Had her back to the play, was running back with the flight, won the one-on-one contest, which was crucial, but then was just so quick to react at ground level and just sent that ball as long as she possibly could. Outstanding work as Northern was trying to charge forward for a 2nd goal in as many minutes as Cross gets the footy now, kicks it inside 50. Niwella was caught from behind, and Barwon can now relieve from their defensive line. A lovely kick out of the fence, finds its way to Beeston, and she's off and racing. In fact, it's Jansen. She gets the ball towards half forward. It's another foot race. Barwon have the players in better position, and now taking possession and kicking inside is De Groot. It's going to go long and strong to the top of the square. Allen defending. Her opponent there is Horton. Horton did well, won the footy, tried the handball over the top, couldn't quite get there, but this might be an opportunity. Streaming in and kicking the goal is Tamara Knox, and AFL Barwon go back out to an 18-point advantage as they move to 5 goals, 7-37. Northern 2-7-19. Lovely transition work, but it all goes back for mine to that one-on-one contest where Megan Adcock did so well in the back pocket to relieve some pressure, and then her side was able to take that ball coast to coast.
Just unbelievable transition, as you just mentioned, Samuel, there. I think just weight of numbers ended up when they just ran really hard from one end to the other, and weight of numbers there, they had 3-on-1, and streaming into the goal there was Tamara Knox, and that was her first of the day, and stretches that lead out back to 18 points.
Yeah, that was, dare say, nearly it, unless Northern can respond almost instantaneously here. Back in the middle of the ground, shoveling a handball forward was Wilkes for AFL Barwon. Thorne comes in, and extracts it, just bounces up, had one arm pinned, so just somehow emerges with it. Well done by Cross. But she probably wants to be on the end of her own kick, really, to be honest. Nicely done by French. She's been good at half back. Kick down the line. Cross again. Did a good job to get a fist in. Won the footy. Kick was well smothered. Wilkes got a handball clear. It's well done. Oh, it's wonderful tackle. Wasn't rewarded though for the Northern Footy League. AFL Barwon emerged with another strong tackle, and they will be rewarded this time. And the recipient is Michelle Millhouse.
Millhouse kicks long on the left boot into the forward pocket. It's dropped there by to Coolja. If I pronounce that right, boys. And the ball trickles over the boundary line, probably 40 metres out from Northern's goal. You feel like they need a goal right about now.
Well, it's opened up late. Obviously, fatigue probably starts to set in as well, and more opportunities. We've seen 3 goals in this last term, 2 of which went to AFL Barwon. They led by 13 at three-quarter time. It's now an 18-point advantage. Can they get another one here in the final 5 minutes? The ball's being run on the outside of the ground. Just didn't bounce back up there, but there's plenty of numbers as the ball's handballed over to Negri, and now she can kick this ball back inside. She's gone down the line instead. It's gone over the head of their target, and now trying to chase this one down is Bailey McClanahan for Northern. She's kept the ball in play, but they haven't retained possession here, Northern. As an opportunity for Barwon, a little toe poke underground has been, well, the umpire said it's an infringement. It's kicking in danger, so it means the ball goes back to the back pocket, and it is a Northern Football Netball League free kick. That one going against Kelsey Horton.
It is. Just field time is the enemy at the moment for the Northern Footy League, especially if AFL Barwon keep getting the ball back inside 50, which they do now. Thumb clear by O'Brien, who did a good job in her back half. Lovely step and go by Koika to release some trouble, but French just dumps it back inside 50. Thumped clear, strong tackle by Jansen. And we'll have a ball up directly in front. So 5-7-37 the AFL Barwon, Northern Footy League 2-7-19 with just over 3 minutes to go in this final term. Was lovely double fisted tap by Perrott, extracted by Taylor Gray for the Northern League, who has a little fumble. Picked up, wasn't quite clean from Betson. Mops up her own work now and gets it back. She's at half forward. They're going back to go forward, AFL Barwon, and Betson just hangs one high up in the air. Thumped down and eventually out of play, 40 around from goal.
So the umpire with the footy, Maiwala, and in the ruck, Perrott gets the tap out. Northern balling contested.
As the umpire, the Barwon tried to run this one through, trying to take possession there was Jansen. She was caught in the tackle, and it's been paid holding the ball. So a chance for Northern to get this one outside defensive 50. They've been locked in for the last minute or so. A ball across the face of 50. Good contest there. Both players eyes only for the football. And charging forward here is Murphy Burke. Sends a ball towards half forward. Unable to take the mark over the head there was Bianca Jones. As the ball comes back through the corridor to Thorne of AFL Barwon. Sends it inside attacking 50. The ball overhead was sport from the back. That was by, I think it was Murphy Burke. Now kicked forward for Northern. Estraculia marks on the chest. She looks ahead and there's she has to wait for numbers 2 push towards centre half forward. They've just got to go here, Northern. The clock's probably beaten them, but nevertheless have to get it on quickly as she goes across the ground there, and it's going to be intercepted. And a great mark taken there by Tamika Beeston.
Yeah, she's in the middle of the park for AFL Barwon, who are going to claim a maiden victory in their maiden game. Betson just kicks towards the 50, but Northern Footy League take the mark. They look to swing wide to this broadcast side in the direction of Clancy, but Betson again, there's a whistle. I think it'll be a free kick going the way of O'Day, and it will be coming. A little cheeky tap on the shoulder. So Sophie O'Day's been very good too for AFL Barwon this afternoon, right on the logos broadcast side. We've got just over a minute to go. O'Day just hangs it up to half forward towards Eckersley, was flying along with Ford. Ball Ball comes back to ground level. Strong tackle laid by Jansen. He's done that a lot today and we'll have a ball up.
So closing stages here. It is AFL Barwon 5-7-37 leading Northern 2 goals 7-19. Ball's thrown back into play. Can they add another one here? The icing on the cake here for AFL Barwon. Ball's being paddled towards the forward pocket. A quick ball screwed around the corner. It was a good one for Northern. And it finds Murphy, who now throws it on the boot. The target's going to be O'Brien. Got hands to the footy, couldn't control the mark. Ball at ground level as numbers start to pile on here. The umpire might have to call for this one, eventually does. And there'll be a ball up as we tick towards the final 20 seconds of this encounter.
So it's been a historic morning for many reasons. But it's going to be AFL Barwon who can claim a maiden victory. Can they finish off with a goal? They're running out of time. We're under 10 seconds to go now. The ball inside 50. It's AFL Barwon, the inaugural side, with a maiden victory at the first time of trying. They've defeated the Northern Footy League 5-7-37 to the Northern Footy League 2-7-19 to kick off what is going to be a huge day of interleague footy and netball here at Queen's Park.
Yep, certainly were. They were the side that early on took their chances best, the AFL Barwon side, and were able to get the score on the board early, led by 14 points at quarter time, and it was that early lead that they were able to maintain right throughout the contest. Northern mounted a challenge, particularly early in the third quarter, closed the margin to 5 points, but then Barwon probably had the superior endurance throughout the game, probably the slicker ball movement, and were able to close that one out late. They kicked 2 goals to 1 in the final term and went away for a deserving 18-point victory.
Yes, from what I observed in the last 3 quarters there, Sam, definitely I think player of the day would have to be their captain, Emma Allen, with the 3 goals, 2 pivotal in the middle, and obviously capitalised her work when she went forward. I felt Northern Footy League definitely had their opportunities and were dominant in periods of that third quarter and even early in the last quarter. But I just feel that the Barwon girls just needed to kick those key goals when required, and they could never. Northern could never really peg back that lead, but they certainly did mount a challenge, Sam. But unfortunately for the Northern girls, they've come up here with their heads held high, but didn't quite get the job done today.
So we are going to go now down to the presentation. So the stream will continue as AFL Barwon are awarded the 2019 WorkSafe AFL Victoria Community Championships Cup. They have defeated the Northern Football Netball League 5-7-37 to 2 goals 7-19. So the players are now just moving into position for this presentation. We're going to take you there live, and then from there we'll be crossing into the next game that's on the cards to be played in a few moments' time. That, of course, the big derby, the Ballerine Football League taking on the Geelong District Football League. So that'll be a huge one here at Queen's Park. But we go down now to the presentation ceremony, where the AFL Barwon inaugural women's side has claimed an 18-point victory over the Northern Football Netball League. We'll take you there now, and we do hope you have enjoyed the coverage right throughout today.
There we go, so we're off.
Thank you, everyone. First off, I'd just like the big crowd that's here today to put their hands together for a fantastic game of football from both the AFL Barwon girls and the Northern Football Netball League girls. Tell Martin from the Northern Football Netball League to come and say a few words and also announce her best player.
Yeah, thank you to Mel and the team. Just shows the talent that's coming through the league these days, which is fantastic. Thanks to our girls. It's been a quick 5 weeks, but you know, you guys have hopefully learned something from these 5 weeks, and we'll take it into next year's game. Thanks to the crowd and for Geelong Amateur for putting this day on. It's been fantastic, and thank you to the umpires. Good job. Best player for our team today by a country mile was Pat O'Brien.
Well done, girls, and safe trip back. Now I'll ask Mel Hickey, the coach of AFL Barwon, to say a few words and announce their best player.
Thank you so much to Northern Fleet League for coming down and for your whole team. It was an awesome game, so thank you so much. To our girls and all the support staff, appreciate all your help over the last 3 weeks, especially my assistant coaches in trying to get the team down and the squad into what it is today. And I'm so proud of these girls. They put it together. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Awesome. And lastly, just want to thank Edworth and Medibank for their support. These sort of things don't get put on without sponsors, so thank you so much to those guys. Best on ground, this is pretty tough. We've had some great performances today across the board, but can't go past our captain, Ed Allen, 53 goals.
And Emma, stay here. Craig Keating, AFL Barwon Chairman, Commission Chair, will now present the WorkSafe trophy for our winners today, the AFL Barwon women's team. Well done, girls. Come on, girls, come over here. The guys want to take a picture.